These are roses from my garden, and they are in full bloom, and they smell spectacular. There's a vitality when something shows its largest expression, and that's our practice this morning, demonstrating that vitality through our practice. So bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Turn your gaze inward into your own heart as you feel both sitting bones weight evenly into the mat. And from the rooting of your pelvis, you rise up through your ribs, through your heart, through the crown of your head with this vital life force that is within you. With a deep honoring and respect for this vitality that we enjoy. Give thanks. And then release your hands and open your eyes. All right, come into all fours, please, hands and knees. And with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your pelvis, let's just work cat pose. So drop your tail, drop your head, lift your belly, round your spine like a cat. Lift your tail, pull your heart forward, look up, and that's cow. We'll do that 2 more times. Cat and cow. 1 more time with the 2 of them. Breathe. And the next time you come into cat pose, stay here for a moment and really push with your hands. So this push into the earth is vital. It creates a lift and an opening. As you breathe, feel this opening in your back. Feel the lift through the front of your body. On your next breath, bring your head and your tail and your spine back to neutral. Walk your hands 1 full handprint forward from where they are. Tuck your toes. Push with your hands and feet and take your pelvis up and back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, tip your sitting bones just a little bit higher to the sky. Keep the tip of your pelvis with your knees bent. And then lift your belly and ribs and your armpits while you press down through your hands. So there's the lift again. There's the push, right, with the hands. Yet there's a lift through armpits and ribs and belly. Take another full breath here. And then on your next exhale, walk your hands and your knees and your feet towards one another. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Make your spine long. Push with your feet and in breath and rise all the way up. Walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, take a big breath up. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana. Standing on your left foot, step your right foot back for a lunge. It's a low lunge. Press with your left foot, swing your right foot forward, back to standing forward fold. Hands to pelvis, long spine. Soften your knees a little bit. Moving from the pelvis, rocking around your femur heads, in breath and come up. Release your arms down by your side. Inhale, big breath up. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana. Stand in your right foot, step your left foot back for a lunge. Breathe. Push into your right foot, and on the next exhale, left foot swings forward. Stand in both feet, forward fold. Use an exhale to drop in. Soften your knees as you bring your hands to your pelvis. Reach back through your tail, move forward through your heart. Push with your feet, inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Inhale, big breath up. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Standing forward fold. Right foot steps back, lunge. Keep your right hand down on the mat, flat palm it. Bring your left hand to your left hip crease. Turn your ribs open to your front leg so your right ribs are turning left. Extend your left arm up to the sky. Stay firm and steady in your back leg by pushing from your pelvis into your right big toe ball joint. Continue to stand well in your left heel. On the next exhale, rotate your ribs to the earth, push with your left foot, swing your right foot forward, standing forward fold. Hands to your pelvis, in breath and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Take a big breath up. Exhale, have a seat, chair pose. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Left leg back lunge. With your toes spreading, root into your right heel. Press back through your left big toe ball joint. Keep your left hand on the ground. You can flat palm it. And then bring your right hand to your right hip crease. Root your right femur down. And on an exhale, spin your left ribs to the right, turning towards your front leg, your bent knee leg. On an in-breath, from your heart to your fingertips, stretch your top arm up. Think of this like the full bloom of the rose. Fullest expression, expressing your vital life force. On your next exhale, rotate back to the ground. Stand in your right foot, swing your left foot forward, standing forward fold. Breathe in. Exhale, drop in. Let your head release. Bow in. Take another breath. With your knees soft, push from your pelvis to your heels so you feel the strength and tone in your legs. Bring your hands once again to your pelvis. Shoot your elbows up to the sky as you reach back through your tail and pull forward through your heart. Push with your feet. Move from your pelvis to rise tall. Release your arms down by your side. In breath, reach up. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Tip to the right. So I am teaching right, left. I am practicing right, left. So you may look opposite of me when you look at me, and that's okay. Just keep working right, left. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Second side, big breath up. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand, right palm to the sky. Tip over to the left. Breathe. In breath and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Step your left leg out into the side plane on your mat. Soften your right knee. Hinge from your right hip crease so you come into a small plie or a squat on your right leg. Now through your long extended leg, your left leg, reach from your pelvis to your foot more fully. Think of the full bloom of the rose. So you're not just sticking your leg out. You're reaching dramatically into the earth. Take your arms up to the sky. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand as you spin your left palm skyward. On your next breath, tip over and lengthen from your left waist to your left armpit as you tip right. Fuller expression now from the left hip to the left foot. Push into the earth. Fuller expression as you expand up from your pelvis through the left side waist so that you fan open the space between each rib and breathe into the left side ribs. Push down with both feet. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Step together. Just pause and breathe and feel the effect of that strong lateral bend where you took the fullest expression of your vital life force flowing. Second side, so right leg will step out. Soften your left knee. Come into a knee bend on the left knee. So the left leg is like in a little bit of a plie squat position. Fan out your toes on both feet. Root into your left heel. And let the energy as the grounding from your pelvis through your left heel comes down. Let it move out through your left foot and into your toes and beyond. Now from your right pelvis to your right foot, reach into the earth. Take a big in-breath and stretch up large. It's not just raising the arms, it's a big reach. Keeping the reach, grab onto the right wrist with your left hand, spin your right palm up to the sky. Keep a commitment of the grounding action of the right leg as you lift and lengthen up out of the right side waist. And what that'll do is you'll start probably tipping left. Continue to tip left while you actively extend from the right pelvis into the right foot, which affords you the ability to open the right rib cage even more especially if you include breath. So breathe. One more breath cycle. In breath, rise tall. Exhale and release your arms. Top of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale, take a big breath up. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Tip your pelvis to the sky. And to get that, you have to bend your knees. So bend your knees so that you can lift your sitting bones up to the sky. You already have this amazing length from the lateral bends we just did through the torso. So keep the lift of the ribs by reaching down with your tail and then expanding from the bottom of your heart through your armpits and into your hands so that your hands push the earth, each finger pad roots. Keep that and make the pose bigger by reaching down from your tail to your heels and move your thigh bones back towards your hamstrings to lengthen your legs any amount. Take 2 more breaths as you breathe into this larger, more fully open downward facing dog. Keep the push of your hands and your feet. So each finger pad claws, base of the thumb, base of the pinky rooting. As you press into your feet, inhale, bring your heart forward into plank. On the exhale, pike your pelvis up to the sky, back to dog. Let's do that 2 more times. In breath, heart moves forward, hands and feet push to bring you into plank. Exhale, pike your pelvis up. 1 more time. Come forward to plank. Breathe. Drop your knees to the mat if it's appropriate. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Keeping your hands glued to the mat and rooting through the legs. Squeeze your legs together and reach back from your pelvis to your toes. Pressing the tops of your feet down, move your heart forward to come up into Bhujangasana. On your next breath, heart moves forward, lower all the way down onto your belly. Place your hands underneath your forehead, pressing down into the tops of your feet. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Keeping the reach and the length of your left leg, lift your right leg up in the air. Extend more fully out through the right foot to lower your right leg down. Press down with the top of your right foot. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Extend now from your left hip to your left foot. Keep it actively reaching to lift your left leg up. Breathe. With extension, lower your left leg down. Keep your right hand underneath your forehead. Extend your left arm out on the mat. Breathe. Squeeze your legs towards one another and press the tops of your feet down as you spread your toes. From your pelvis to your right toes, reach more and lift your right leg up. Extend out through the left arm and lift your left arm up. Push down with your right arm and allow your chest to move forward to lift up. Breathe. Keep moving your heart forward. Lower your torso down. Left arm returns, right leg returns to the earth. Forehead now resting on your left arm, left hand. Reach your right arm forward. Breathe. Squeeze your legs together as you press the tops of your feet down. Continue to anchor with your right leg and reach longer with your left leg to lift it up. With both sides of your pelvis equally weighting, extend from your heart to your right hand to lift your right arm up. Now push with your left arm to extend your heart forward to rise up through the chest. Breathe. Next exhale, lower your arm down, left leg down, head down. Both hands on underneath your forehead. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs. Extend your legs out on the mat. Bring your hands by your ribs. Push up into all fours. And then from all fours, your hands are just a little bit forward of your shoulders. Tuck your toes, push with your feet, push with your hands, and hover your knees off the mat. So you're in a position that it's often called bear pose. It's a strong pose that requires the hands and feet to push and the middle, your center, to stay lifted and engaged. Next breath, return your knees to the mat. We'll just do that 2 more times. Push with your feet, push with your hands, hover your knees off the mat. Breathe. Next breath, return your knees to the mat. 1 more time, hands and feet push, lift your knees. Now take your pelvis all the way back to the wall behind you and up towards the sky, tipping your pelvis as you go, and unfold into downward facing dog. Stay with your breath. Walk your hands and your feet towards one another. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your pelvis and your elbows to the sky. Move back through your tail and extend forward through your heart. Push strongly down with your feet to in-breath and rise up. Exhale and release your arms. Take a wide stance on your mat, please. So in a nice wide stance, turn your right foot, which is going to be your back foot, slightly in. Turn your left foot all the way open. So left heel, somewhat lining up with the right arch of the foot. Reach your arms up to the sky, big reach. Push from your pelvis to your feet more. Lift up from your pelvis to your fingertips more. Now release your front hip, come into a knee bend. Keep moving your right inner thigh apart. It's going to want to move forward with the left knee. Keep thinking right inner thigh broadens. Let's try that again. Push down with your feet, lengthen your front leg. Breathe. Push with your back heel. Keep the back leg, the right inner thigh, toned. Release the front hip, your pelvis descends. Right inner thigh stays strong and steady while the head of the left shin bone moves forward. So the top of the shin bone, just beneath the knee, moves forward. And what you'll get is a big stretch through the groins. Now open your arms out to a T. Good job keeping the lift through the torso while you played with the energy in your legs. Turn your gaze to look over your left arm. So you're moving into the form of Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Another breath. Now keep this equal reach from your heart to your fingertips. Rotate the head of the front arm bone so that your left palm goes to the sky. Keep reaching back with your right arm as you float the left arm up. Bottom arm and top arm equally reaching away. Stay with your breath as you broaden a little bit more the right inner thigh by rooting into the right outer heel. Keep extending the head of your left shin bone forward. In breath and come up with the arms. On your next breath, left arm to quadricep, top arm to the sky. Breathe. With the right inner thigh broadening, scoop your left buttock underneath you as you take your left knee and broaden it behind you. I know those are big cues for online practicing. See if you can figure them out. That's inner and outer spiral of Anusara yoga, coming up through the legs. Take your top arm, reach it forward, and then over your head so that your top arm lines up with your ear, and breathe. To explode the pose open, to express your vitality, work more from your pelvis down into your heels. Push. So from right outer hip to right outer heel, a stronger grounding. From left side of the pelvis down into the left heel. Root and then let that energy move out through your toes. Breathe into your right side ribs as you turn your left ribs to the sky. Maybe even your head turns to the sky. Push into both feet. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Turn your left foot in. Just turns in a little bit. Turn your right foot all the way open. Spread your toes. Pull from your heels towards one another. So push down through your heels and pull in. Keep that. And now reach up through your arms. Let's get bigger. So we could just raise our arms and stand here with our legs apart, but we're looking for more, right? We're looking for this expression of the vital life force that we are. So from your pelvis to your heels, push into the earth. Keep that. And then from your pelvis up through your sideways to your fingertips, expand. Release your front hip, come into your knee bend. Keep broadening the left inner thigh to the left as you release the right hip so the right knee bends. Push with both feet. Lengthen your front leg. Let's try that one more time. Keep the reach. Come on, bigger. Pelvis to feet. Bigger. Pelvis up through the armpits to the fingertips. Keep it. Broaden the left inner thigh. Even more. So left inner thigh is broadening to the left, and what you have to do is step into the left outer heel to make that happen. Release your right hip. Let the right head of the shin bone move forward, right? So right underneath the knee, the top of the shin bone is moving forward, and that's what takes you into the knee bend. Keep the lift, keep the openness. Just take your arms out to a T. Breathe. Turn your gaze to look right. You're in a big, open warrior two. Now from the head of the right arm bone, that's your front arm, rotate the arm so your palm turns to the sky. Keep the reach from heart to fingertips as you raise your top arm up. So you're just reversing your warrior. So as much as your back arm reaches down, your top arm gets to shoot up. So sometimes you got to reach more down so that you can go up. Breathe. Push with your feet, in-breath, rise. Right arm to right quadricep. Use your right forearm and push down. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Now let's open the pose a little bit bigger. This is a variation of extended side angle. Keep broadening your left inner thigh to the left. And how you get that is you root into your outer left heel more. Outer left hip to outer left heel will lift and open the left inner thigh. Keep that broadening aspect in your back leg. And then on the front buttock, the front right hip, draw it underneath you, scoop it under, and what you'll feel is your right inner groin start to stretch more. Keep that and move your right inner knee, the inside of your right knee, a little bit, I don't want to say behind you, but that's the direction it's going. Extend your top arm forward and then over your head and add the biggest expression you can muster and maintain breath. So breath is steady and smooth while you continue to anchor from left pelvis to left outer heel, feeling how that lifts and tones the left inner thigh. Reach from left side waist to left fingertips. Maybe explore turning the pose open so the heart reveals itself by turning the right ribs towards the sky, and then eventually your head might turn and look up too. Push down into both feet, in breath and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Turn your feet parallel. They don't have to be perfectly parallel. They could be slightly turned out if that's better for the hip joint, where the femur head comes into the hip socket at the pelvis. Bend your knees a little bit. Move your heart forward as you stick your butt out, forward fold, hands to the ground. Let your head drop in and breathe. Walk both hands over to your right foot. Use your right hand and hold on to either your foot or your ankle or your shin. And then using your finger pads, like your hand is a spider or something else that crawls, walk your fingers out on a diagonal. So left hand is taking a journey away from the right foot. Keep what you have and breathe. Stay steady and broad in the right inner thigh as you release the left hip and come into a knee bend on the left leg. Keep rooting through the left fingertips. If your left finger's kind of slid and moved as you release the left hip, see if you can recommit to the anchoring of the left hand, the push down of the left hand, which creates lift through the left side waist. Breathe. Left leg, walk your hands back to center, forward fold, legs steady, toes spreading, feet pulling towards one another, while your inner thighs move away from one another. Take another breath. And on the next inhale, reach back through your tail, move forward through your heart and extend your spine a little bit. And then walk your hands over to your left foot. Keeping your left hand either on your left shin, left ankle, left foot, begin to finger crawl your right arm into extension, and it's a little bit on a diagonal. It's out in front of your left foot, but moving on a diagonal from the torso. Breathe. Keeping the left inner thigh broadening, left inner thigh broadening, and you know how to get that is to root into the left outer heel. So from left outer hip to left outer heel, root so it lifts the left inner thigh. Keep that, and on an exhale, release your right hip and let your right knee bend. And you'll know how much to bend it. You'll be like, that's good. Only bend it as much as you're able to maintain evenness of breath, right? So the breath doesn't get ragged or struggling. Breath is flowing smoothly. Couple more breath cycles as you commit to your right hand. If your right hand's slipping or moving, make a commitment there. Good. Push with both feet. Lengthen your legs. Walk your hands back to center. Forward fold in center. Breathe. Walk your hands now so they're in alignment with your shoulder girdle. I'm just turning sideways. You stay where you're at. I'm just turning sideways in case you peek up. Want to see what we're doing? The best shot is from the side for this one. With your left hand underneath your left shoulder. So walk it in so left hand's a little bit more at center. Bring your right hand to your pelvis. Now spread your toes and weight from your pelvis down into your heels. Move your inner thighs on both legs apart. And to do that, you're going to have to bend your knees a little bit so that you can broaden through the inner thighs. So keep the feet pressing in, the inner thighs broadening. Turn your left ribs to the right. You'll be twisting open. Take your right arm up to the sky. Breathe. Next, exhale, right hand down to the mat. Work your right hand towards the midline. It'll be a little bit past underneath the right shoulder. Bring your left hand to your pelvis. Once again, spread your toes. Commit to the vitality of your legs by pressing down from your pelvis into your heels so that you can turn from the ribs. Turn your ribs from right to left. And then take your left arm up to the sky and breathe. So this is twisted triangle. 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, return your hands to the mat. Heel toe your feet together. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Once you've got a steady base, in breath and rise up. Release your arms down by your side. Walk all the way to the top of your mat. Inhale, take a big breath up. Exhale, have a seat, chair pose. Fold forward to Uttanasana. Step back to downward facing dog. On your next breath, bring your knees to the mat, to all fours position, hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the pelvis. Step your right leg back long. Push from your right pelvis to your right foot to lift your right leg up. And then continue to root into your right hand, pushing the earth away with your right hand to extend the left arm forward. Breathe. Next, exhale, left hand down, right knee down. Step your left leg back behind you, toes tucked. Keep the reach from left pelvis to left foot. Express it big and extend and lift your left leg up. Continue to root into your left hand. Extend your right arm forward. Breathe. Push with your left hand. Reach with your left leg. Extend with your right arm. Next breath, right hand down, left leg down, back to forest position, hands and knees. Work your hands a handprint forward from where they were. Tuck your toes, drive your pelvis back and up into downward facing dog. Push with your left foot. Raise your right leg up to the sky. Now to get the lift, right, through the torso, we know that you got to push with your hands more, right? So push with your hands more. Feel how that lifts your torso. Keep the reach from pelvis to right heel and lower your right foot to the ground. Stand on your right foot. You can soften your right knee a little bit. Reach from your pelvis to your left heel to lift your left leg up. Keep the reach through the left legs. Go for the lift. Push with your hands more so that you feel your belly and your ribs lifting, your armpits lifting, and your forearms lifting away from the earth. Take another breath. Keep the reach of the left leg, return it to the mat. Breathe. On your next breath, knees down. Walk your left hand underneath your left shoulder and then just move it forward a little bit of a handprint. So it's not directly under the shoulder, it's more like in line with the shoulder, but a little forward of it, maybe lining up more with your ear. Stay kneeling on your left knee. Extend your right leg out and turn open to a variation of side plank. So left knee down, right leg extended, left hand on the mat. Bring your right hand to your pelvis, raise your right leg up. Take your right arm up to the sky. Now you could just be here in balance and this is enough, but we're after like a vital practice, a practice that brings into the game our life force, our vitality. So from your pelvis to your right heel, reach more. Now use your left hand and push more so that you feel lift through your torso. And then expand from your heart to your right fingertips. Changing the shape, bring your right hand to your pelvis. Step your right foot forward in front of you. So now your right foot's like in a lunge position in front of you, right? Take your bottom leg now, it's going to become the long leg. Shoot it out in alignment with your pelvis. You'll come down onto the pinky toe edge of your left foot. So front leg, top leg is your right leg. It's in a lunge position in the front plane. Back leg, left leg is the long leg on the pinky toe edge. Now push with your left hand more to get the lift. Take your top arm up and take your top arm over your head. Big reach. Now that big reach is from left pelvis to left pinky toe, and then push with your right foot more to help lift your pelvis up. Push with your left hand so that your ribs start to arc skyward. Right ribs are fanning open. On your next exhale, return your right hand to the mat. Return to all fours position, hands and knees. You can stay right here. I'm just going to turn around and face the other direction. But you stay right where you're at. All right, so work your right hand forward just a little bit. Stay on your right knee. Turn open to a modified side plank. So left leg is extended, right hand is down on the mat. You're on your second side. Breathe. So as your right inner thigh broadens, lift your left leg up in the air. Left arm to the sky. So just first form of the pose. First variation of Vasistasana for today. But make it bigger, you know, rather than be like, oh, first one, kind of sort of gonna do it. Think of the roses in my garden, full bloom. From pelvis to heel, go for it. From heart to right hand, push. From heart to left fingers, reach. All right, on the exhale, left hand to pelvis, step your right foot forward so you're in that lunge shape. Keep pushing down and clawing with each finger pad on your right hand, the root of the index finger, the base of the right thumb, and the base of the right pinky. So the center of the palm on the right hand lifts. Extend your right leg out. It's coming straight out underneath your pelvis. Breathe. Now to make the pose bigger, you could just be here and be collapsed, but we're in a vital, like life force, shining it out state, big. So push down with your left heel more. Spread your toes more on your left foot. Push into the pinky toe edge of your right foot more to pick your right hip up. Push with your right hand and extend your top arm up, and then all the way over your head. Push strongly. Breathe. So that you're fanning open the left ribs, opening up the left side waist. Next, exhale, left hand to pelvis, left hand to the floor, both knees to the mat. Returning to all fours position on the mat, work your hands, one hand print forward, tuck your toes, push up and back into downward facing dog. Walk your hands and your feet towards one another. Bring your hands to your pelvis, in breath and rise up. Exhale and release your arms. Good job, you guys. Take a nice wide stance on your mat. All right. In a nice wide stance on your mat, turn your right foot slightly in, turn your left foot all the way open, reach your arms up to the sky and out to a T. Breathe. With your toes spreading and your feet pulling in, hinge from your hip crease, Trikonasana. Bottom hand to the ground, top hand to the sky. Now, this pose, you could just be like, this is good enough, but that's not the practice we're in this morning, right? We're in the full bloom practice. So from pelvis to feet, stronger reach. From tail to heart, extend more. From heart to fingertips, open up. Bend your front knee a little bit. Bring your right hand to your pelvis. Work your left hand on the diagonal of your left baby toe. So you'll start hopping your back foot in so that your right foot comes closer to your left foot. What you'll feel is that you're pretty much weight bearing into your front foot now. Move your left hand forward on the diagonal of your left pinky toe. It's got to move forward like 2 feet, 18 inches at least. Strong right leg, pick it up. So you're in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. To make the pose bigger, push from the pelvis down into your left heel. Reach from your heart to your fingertips and push the earth with the left finger pads. From your pelvis to your right heel, reach more. And then if you've got your right arm up in the air, go for it. Bigger reach, heart to right fingertips, large, full bloom, full expression. Totally vital and present in this moment. Right hand to pelvis, bend your left knee, keep reaching with your right leg. You don't get to collapse and fall. Reach. Reach to land your right foot on the ground. Come back to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand to the ground, spin your heart open. Maybe even turn your gaze skyward. Right hand back to the pelvis, soften your right knee, push with your back heel, push down into your back foot, inhale and come up. Yeehaw, good job. All right, so here we go. Second side, turn your left foot slightly in, turn your right foot all the way open, spread your toes and pull your feet towards one another. Reach up to the sky. This isn't just any old reach. It's not just like raise your arms in the air. It's big. You've been working on it the whole practice. So from pelvis to feet, push down. From pelvis to fingers, up. Next breath, triangle pose. Hinge from the hip crease. Breathe. Take 2 more breaths here. As you continue to pull your feet towards one pelvis. Bend your right knee. Work your right hand towards the floor. So right fingertips touch the ground on the diagonal of the right baby toe. To get there, your right foot's going to have to hop in closer to, your left foot's going to have to hop in closer to your right foot. You'll feel the weight shift into your right foot. You'll be like, yeah, I am standing on my right leg. Keep that. Work your fingers forward on a diagonal off your right pinky toe, another 1.5 feet. Your hands got to get way out there so you can balance. Now push down from your right outer hip to your right outer heel. Reach from your left pelvis to your left heel to pick your left leg up. Make it bigger now. And the first thing of bigness, right, just comes with breath. So breathe, right? The first thing that gets bigger is that you're like, oh, I'm breathing. I'm not holding my breath. Stay with your breath. And now make the shape larger through the lines of your body. From pelvis down to your right heel, root. Push with your right hand to get the lift through your right torso. Reach from your pelvis to your left heel and expand the line of your leg. Keep extending through your tailbone and move forward with your heart. If you've got the left arm in the air, reach from your heart to your left fingertips up. Left hand to pelvis, bend your right knee. Keep reaching with your left leg. Touch down, you're landing in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breathe, refine your triangle. Refine it. Every moment is vital. The vitality that you seek is within you. You're just tapping into that energy. Soften your front knee a little bit. Push with your back foot. In breath and come up. Heel toe your feet together. Walk to the top of your mat. Well done. Take a big breath up. It's not just a regular old big reach, fullest expression. Pelvis to feet down. Pelvis to armpits to fingers up. Next breath, keep the length, forward fold. Bend your knees. Step back to down dog. Breathe. Couple more breaths here. Refine your dog. Use your hands. Get the lift. Push with your feet. Feel the strength. Allow your breath to flow. Next exhale, knees to the mat. Have a seat on your bottom. Extend your legs out straight in front of you. In breath. Then exhale, place your hands beside you, bend your elbows. Now, root down through your heels, the back of the calves, the back of the knees, the back of the thighs. As you press with your hands, lift your heart up. Keep the lift through your spine because you're grounding and reaching through your legs. Raise your arms up. And on the exhale, hinge from your hip crease, move your heart forward to come into a forward fold. And then as soon as you feel like the moment's now, put your hands down. Your hands can hold your legs. They can touch the earth beside your legs. Your hands can touch your feet. You get to pick. But whatever you've picked, we got to create lift. And the lift is going to come from the elbows going up. So wherever you've put your hands, cool, good. Just lift your elbows up towards the sky and feel how that creates a lift. Keeping that lift, let your head drop in. Continue to squeeze your legs together as you press down through your heels and press down through the backs of your calves, the backs of your knees, the backs of your thighs. Take one more breath. Slide your hands back by your pelvis. Move your heart forward. In breath and come up. Again, I'm teaching right, left, so I might look different than you. Bend your right leg, cross it over your left. So right leg is bent, right leg is crossing over your left. Use your left hand, that's the opposite hand of the leg that's crossing, and hug your right knee in. So left arm hugging right knee in. Nothing more to do here other than get bigger. So don't worry about the twist yet, right? The twist is already present. You've got a leg crossing the midline and a torso countering the twist of the pelvis and leg. It's already happening. So let's make the pose bigger right here without turning any more yet. All right, so press down through your left heel, spread your toes, push into your right heel and spread your toes. So now you got both feet going. And you can feel just by doing that, by pressing down into the back of the left heel and spreading the toes, pushing down strongly into the right heel and spreading the toes. You can feel the lift it created in the torso. Keep that energy and that vital force rising. Breathe. Now to increase it, tack your right outer hip down while you push with the right foot. Strongly hug the left knee, the right knee in with the left arm. Yeah. Raise your right arm up. Now this is where you get to add a little bit more juice. So as your right outer hip tacks down and your left leg From the hamstring to the back of the knee, to the back of the calf, to the heel, roots, you lift up from pelvis to heart. So don't worry about like anything more than going up. Keep what you have. It's just your arm, just your top arm makes a backstroke to the ground. Just your arm makes a backstroke. Your torso still is where it's at. You haven't twisted anymore. Breathe. On your next breath, actively draw your belly back so you get some space from your front leg. Now turn your left ribs to the right. So twists are actually compressions. We actually decrease space on a twist. Can you feel that? You actually, as you twisted into this, you spiraled down. And that should happen. That's what happens on a twist. The juice, the lift happens when you come out of the twist. So on an in-breath, as you turn back to your front leg, feel the rise that comes out of that twist. Feel how you just spiraled up and out. Yeah, that's how things grow, through spirals. All right, let's do the other side. So build it just as well, with just as much intention of creating this vitality through lift. Right leg is extended, left leg crosses the midline. Let's use the right arm, so it's the opposite arm of the crossed leg, to hug the left knee in. And we're just here. We're not going any further into the twist at this moment. We're already in a rotation. And see if you can sense it, right? So with that left pelvis to left foot crossing the midline, you can already feel that the right belly is turning to the left. It's good. It's a perfect twist right now. Let's get the lift out of it though. Let's get some more juice flowing. We'll start in the right heel. Push down through your right heel. Spread your toes. Keep that. Push down into your left heel and spread your toes. And just by rooting into the heels, the back of the right, the bottom of the left, feel how that created a lift through your spine and your trunk. Breathe. Keep that, and let's add a smidge more by anchoring the left side of the pelvis down, right? Left side of the pelvis down. And now reroot the left heel, but keep the left side of the pelvis down. In breath, raise the left arm up. So left outer hip rooting, and then from left side waist to left armpit to left fingertips, lift up. Hug the right knee in a little bit more and move the right belly back. So belly is moving back a smidge away from the right leg, just drawing the tissue back, that's all. Nothing extreme, no over gripping in the belly, just a loving hug back. Keep what you have, keep rooting into your heels, keep rooting through the whole right leg, and just your top arm is gonna make a backstroke. Reach for it, just don't drop it, reach throughout the range. As it's going back, reach. Once it lands, go to ridge top and push. The push of the finger pads creates additional lift. Now, when we add the actual additional twist through the rib cage and the heart, you're gonna shrink. Breathe. Turn your right ribs to the left and feel that, yeah, you just compressed. That's a good thing. It's not a negative in this moment. It's a really good thing. Breathe. Take another breath. Now, when you come out, feel this spring action. Like as the spine unwinds, you'll get taller. Ready? Take an inhale and go for it. Feel the rise and the lift as you came out. Okay, uncross the left leg. Let's go to a figure four shape on the right leg. So right leg's crossed over, it's a figure four. In breath, raise your arms up as you press down through your left heel, forward fold, reach for your left foot. Breathe, drop your head in. You can certainly be touching the ground rather than the foot. Push with your hands, inhale and come up. Stretch your right leg out, cross over your left. Spreading your toes, rooting into your right heel, breathe in and reach up, not casually. You've been practicing the whole time about bigger, blooming larger, expressing your vitality. As you exhale, hinge from your hip crease, forward fold. You can reach for your foot, your hands can go to the ground. Wherever you place your hands, what do your elbows do? They lift up. Breathe, let your head recede and drop in. All right, work your hands back beside your pelvis, push with your hands, lift up. Bend your knees, hold on to your hamstrings, and ease yourself down on your mat. So you're just going into supine, reclining on your back. Yeah, find yourself on the middle of your mat and draw your right knee into your chest. Place your right foot on the floor. Draw your left knee into your chest. Stretch your right leg out long. Single knee to chest, second side. Place your left foot down on the ground. Bend both knees. Draw both knees towards your chest and give yourself a hug. You may even want to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. You can rock, you can roll, you can hug tighter, you can hug looser. Just breathe. Return your head to the mat. Return your feet to the mat. Stretch your legs out long. Turn your palms open for Shavasana. Close your eyes. Rest. Feel your vital energy. Flowing with each breath.